Alright, welcome back guys to our part 2 of Rules for My Son. We are actually taking a family vacation for the weekend down to Wilmington, and on our drive I just happened to find this article on Facebook and I thought I should ask Anthony about these because they're rules for my son, and me being a woman I was like, oh, I don't know if all these are true or not true, and I really wanted to know if he agreed or disagreed, and so we've been going through them, and they're really actually really interesting. So we'll go through a couple more for you guys and see what you think too, because some of it is really cool. This one, Anthony knows all too well. Experience the serenity of traveling alone.
Yeah.
I think that's a human thing because I have too. It's totally different, huh?
Yeah, it's 100% different traveling with friends or with you guys. It's completely different. It's more stressful for me because I have to worry about, okay, she needs to eat, he needs to eat. Do we have everything?
Is everybody safe?
Like, is everybody okay? Like, this person's driving too close to me, like, whatever. Like, 1,000 things are running through my mind. But if it's just me, it's like, whatever. Like, this guy's gonna, like, tailgate me or whatever, or swerve into my lane. He's just gonna kill me, like, whatever, no big deal. But if, you know, like, oh, crap, I forgot something. Oh, well, whatever. It's easier to travel by yourself because you're only worried about you. You're not worried about everybody else.
And I bet it's kind of a good form of therapy sometimes.
Yeah.
Alright, next one says on the trusty Facebook, never be afraid to ask out the best looking girl in the room.
It establishes confidence in yourself to ask out the prettiest girl.
Prettiest
and
girl.
And who knows, like, she might actually like you. The worst thing somebody can say is no. If they turn you down, they turn you down. Ask somebody else out.
You think, like, the person you marry should be, like, that prettiest girl in the room to you. Yeah, like, you should always strive for the prettiest girl in the room to whatever your vision of that is.
But I think saying the prettiest girl in the room is saying the prettiest girl to that individual.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if I'm out with 6 or 7 other guys and I see who I think the prettiest girl is, you know, maybe 2 or 3 of the guys might agree, and then everyone else will be like, no, she's not.
Did you think I was the prettiest girl when you met me?
Yes.
Out of all the girls, because there was like 4 or 5.
4 of them.
Okay, out of 4 of them, did you? For real?
Yeah, 100%.
For real? You thought I was?
Yeah.
Oh. That makes me feel good.
But I didn't ask you out either.
See, he had no game, guys. No game.
She asked me out.
I was super confident back then.
I wasn't.
I was super confident in myself, and I was just like, I was like, really, what's the worst thing that's gonna happen? And really, if he says no to me, then he's stupid anyway. That's really how I thought. Honestly.
But at the same time, in like
you weren't that confident.
In my defense, I wasn't. I'm more confident now than I was back then.
Oh, way more.
But in my defense too, I had just gotten out of a relationship. I wasn't really looking for anything anyways.
That's true.
So I was just whatever. I was just being home to be home. I just got back from a deployment. Like, I didn't really care. But it worked out. But good for me.
I didn't really ask you out for like relationship. Like, I was just kind of like,
just see what I got.
pretty much. Wow. I want to go on a date with this guy. I want to see.
Just see what he's about. Yeah.
Well, when you go on a date with somebody too, you can kind of like, and they're away from their friends, you kind of, because we had been hanging out in a group for like days. We had been hanging out in a group, and when you take them out of that situation, I was like curious to see like, how would he act in a restaurant? Like, would he open the door? Would he put his hand on my back, like, and lead me? Would he let me go first and to like follow the waitress?
Did I do all that?
Yeah.
I did?
Like, yeah. Oh.
I don't remember.
Like, how do they talk to the waiter? Like, how do they, like, is he respectful? Is he, like, somebody that I feel, like, confident with? Is he, like, because there's so many times, like, when you go on a date and, like, you're just like, you talk like that? Like, really? And to me, like, you just need somebody that compliments you. So, like, in the way you're speaking, in the way that you want to live, I guess.
Yeah.
And so for me, I wanted to see. But in my defense, on our way home from our first date, he was on the phone and he was like, oh, my girlfriend. Yes.
Was I really?
Yeah.
On the first date?
First date.
Oh, man.
First date. He's like, yeah, because somebody had called him and wanted us to, like, come by. They were planning a party for him for the next day, and they wanted us to stop by, and he called. He's like, I'm with my girlfriend. And then we got to this place, and because I remember texting my friend, and I was like, he just called me his girlfriend. And then we got there, and he's like, this is my girlfriend, Lacey. And I was like, whoa.
Don't do that.
Overzealous. But I actually thought it was really cute. So.
Oh, man, I don't remember that.
See, he had no game. No game.
Well, it worked out, though.
I know.
Doesn't remember anything, guys.
Never turn down a breath mint.
Never turn down a birthday, because you never know who you're going to meet.
That's
too.
true.
If you're
Never
single, you could meet the prettiest girl in the room.
That's true.
And what if you didn't have that breath mint?
In the game of horse, sometimes a simple free throw will get him.
That's right. That's 100% true. You know, something that's so simple to you can be so difficult for somebody else to
All the
accomplish.
time. This is interesting. A sports coat is worth 1,000 words.
See, I don't know. That one I don't know about. I can see what he's saying. Because you put a sports coat on, it makes you look
Yeah.
100% more professional, appearance-wise. It builds confidence.
For sure.
But I don't know, like, I think there's other things that you could wear besides a sports coat.
I think it depends on where you're going.
Like for me, just like a button down and a tie
Yeah.
shoots my confidence up 1,000%.
You're more like a tie confidence guy.
Like I could do without a sports coat.
Jackets make you look pulled together, and I would assume the same thing goes for men.
Probably.
Yeah. Try writing your own eulogy and never stop revising.
That's interesting.
That's
I've never
interesting.
even thought about it.
I actually had a psychology class that you had to do that, and then you had to read your eulogy in the class. But it's interesting to think about, like, well, what will people say about me when I die? And then if you think about that, it's like you're thinking about your best and your worst qualities, and what he's saying is like kind of like keep revising your personality, like keep growing, keep making yourself. I don't know, do you agree?
Yeah, like that's actually kind of like one of my fears. Like when I die, what are people gonna say about me? Like, did I influence enough positively? Was I, you know, a positive mentor? Was I helpful to people enough that they'll remember it when I die?
Were you not the mean, scary guy that everybody thinks you are? Especially Ryan Burke.
Sure, you want people to fear. Like, I want people to fear me.
What? What?
I do.
Is that a man thing?
Yeah, I think so. Like, for me, like, I want people to fear me enough to where they won't think about messing with me or my family.
Is that because you're short?
Probably.
I want people to like me, not fear me.
Well, there's a balance, though, too. Like, you want people to like you. Like, oh, yeah, he's really cool, but I wouldn't piss him off. Type of thing. Like, that's what I want.
I think, and he accomplishes this very well, let me tell you. Because most people are like, is he mean? Is he nice to you? Is he like, my family, like, I think for the first, like, they weren't 100% sure. Like, they were just like, I don't know. Like, until he, like, opens his mouth, people think that he's, like, super mean. And I'm like, he's a marshmallow,
But
this
that's what
guy.
I want. Like, I want people to think, like, oh, he's really cool, but I would not make him mad.
And I think Ryan has a hard time because sometimes he, like, can't read him very well because of that. But in the long run, it probably has served you very well. a man too, because men are like, what'd you say the other night? Dick measuring?
Yeah.
Like, you're always trying to like measure each other
Yeah.
and see who.
And I think that's what men do. They try to size each other up. Like, oh, I can take this guy in a fight. Or I'm better than this person in this way, or whatever. It's a constant struggle and competition between.
Like a dominant.
Yeah.
Interesting. Thank a veteran and make it up to him. What do you, I don't, Anthony, okay, let me give you something about this. This is why he's going like this. Anthony is a veteran, and he did 3 tours, and he was a Marine for like 8 years. And so people come up to, and he did like combat tours and stuff. So people come up to him, or they used to come up to him a lot, like when you had to wear a uniform and stuff. And even when they find out now, and they'll be like, thank you for your service, like thank you, da 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 da. And he does not like it.
This is why I don't like it.
It's super uncomfortable for him. He's like, I don't like this.
Like nowadays, you can't get drafted. You volunteer to serve in the military. So it was my choice to serve in the military. I knew what I was getting into. I knew I was going to have to deploy. It was by choice. It wasn't like I was, drafted into it, forced into it, told I had to go. So it was my choice. I was doing it because I wanted to. I don't feel that I deserve a thanks for something that I wanted to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah. But I think as human beings, you should feel appreciative of the people that are putting their life on the line to protect your safety. And even if like there's no war going on and things like that, like that is still going on a day-to-day basis, whether we see it or not. And I think that's what this man is trying to say to his son.
I think that's what he is trying to say too.
Like to be appreciative of, and that, like I would tell Ryan that. Like,
and I would too, but it's a person. I'm saying for me as a personal.
He doesn't like.
I don't
people
like. I don't think I deserve to be thanked for something that I volunteered for, that I chose to do. But I will say this: if you see a Vietnam vet, World War II vet, Korean vet, like you should definitely go and thank them, because you don't know if they were drafted or if they volunteered to do it.
And what they went through is like
1,000 times worse than what I went through.
Absolutely. All right, this one's kind of funny. It says, if you want to know what makes you unique, sit for a caricature.
Yeah.
And you can see all your bad qualities come out.
Yeah, your extreme facial features will be exaggerated in your caricature.
Eat lunch with the new kid.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Eat lunch with the new kid.
Yeah, eat lunch with the new
Yeah.
kid.
I mean,
Because
like,
you were once a new kid, you know? So,
You always want to be.
you want to make him like feel welcome to like this school, like he's the new kid. Like he doesn't have any friends. He's probably nervous. Like always sit with the new kid to like make him have a friend and feel welcome.
yeah.
Don't isolate anybody in this life. After writing an angry email, read it carefully, then delete it.
Before you send it. 100% agree. Before you send it.
Absolutely. And this is something we have
Write
done more times than we can count.
Write it, vent all you want on that email. Before you send it, go back and read it.
Text messages too.
Delete it, and then say in calm words what you want to get across.
Absolutely. That is the best advice. Because them angry emails, let me tell you, even years later will come back to haunt you. They never go away. Never.
I'll say
Never.
this. If you can get a hold of the person that made you mad, call them. Instead of emailing them or texting them, call them. Because tones can get misconstrued over paper.
Absolutely.
But tones over phone calls can't get misconstrued.
Ask your mom to play. She won't let you win.
That's so true.
See, I don't know. I think in our house it's
No,
different.
I totally
You let him win. I don't let him win.
Oh, that's so true.
I'm getting better at it though because he's getting older, but
And
yeah.
I don't let him win. Like, I shouldn't say it's not all the time. Most of the time, though, I don't let him win because I want him to feel defeat. Because he's going to get defeated in life.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%. He's not going to achieve everything that he wants to do in life. He's going to get defeated. He's going to hit walls. He's going to hit roadblocks.
So he needs to learn how to deal with that.
Right, I want him to feel that, like, okay, this is what it feels like to lose. Because of the majority of time in life, you're going to feel what it feels like to lose.
And then this is how you deal with it.
Right.
Yeah. And I think if you can deal with defeat well, you will absolutely have a better life, an easier life, and it will just be all around better for you.
And if you try something 100 times and 99 times you get defeated, that one time that you succeed is going to feel so much greater than if you won 99 times out of 100.
See it on a big screen.
Yeah. 100% agree.
100% agree. And if you go to a movie, go to the midnight showings. The
Yes,
best.
I will agree with that.
The best.
They're so much more entertaining.
And the audience gets into it. If you've never been to like the first showing, now they show them at like 9 o'clock, which is awesome. But like the first showing where everybody's like pumped but yeah, seeing something on a big screen makes it so much better, huh? Give credit, take the blame.
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree with that.
That is something like in life, in work, and especially in work.
Yeah.
And I think in your job, like if you take too much credit, that's not good. And I think
Definitely don't.
and always if you do something wrong, especially in your work,
Yeah,
just say
definitely take the blame for it.
take the blame.
Like,
Say
yeah, I messed up. I'm not perfect. I messed up.
like,
But
I'm sorry, let me try to fix it. What can I do
Yeah,
to fix
exactly.
it? If you're not constantly taking the credit in life and you're putting it out on other people, that gives you makes you more humble, I think.
yeah,
And being humble is something that you have to work really hard at because we're programmed to be kind of selfish in life. But if you can find true humbleness in yourself, that the world does not revolve around you, if you can have true humility, then you have won something really great in life. All right, this last one, I don't know what you guys think about this, but I love this, and it's personal reasons, but it says, write down your dreams.
yeah, I can see that.
That's how I get superpowers.
Write down your dreams. Well, I'm like a writer and a planner, but have you noticed that, okay, Anthony was not a planner before he met me, and I have kind of made him into a little bit of a planner. But if you write down your dreams, it kind of makes them more real for you.
For me, it's not so much like writing it down, but making a checklist to get to that dream. So,
Yeah.
you write your dream down.
Make it a
and
plan.
You write down checklists as steps to get to that. And then it gives you something to cross off.
Yeah.
It gives you that
And
feeling
if
of
you can
accomplishment.
cross stuff off, it gives you that feeling, of accomplishment, and that'll kind of keep you pushing forward. If you have nothing to cross off, the likelihood of you actually accomplishing it is really low
Yeah.
because you're not getting that boost to keep going. So I can see that.
And then the other thing that I do too, if I even make a list, is I put it somewhere where I can see it every single day.
yeah.
So if I put it on the wall, wherever, if I constantly walk by it or I'm constantly looking in that direction, I see it. And it reminds you, like, okay, like,
That's what I'm working towards.
this is what I gotta go get.
All right, guys, that was our rules for my son thing that I actually found on Facebook that I wanted to ask Anthony about. And I actually think that this guy's pretty smart. Whatever he
Yeah, who is this guy?
is doing is
Friends with him.
I know, we need to be friends. This is like super good advice, and
Yeah, I think so.
it's, I think, something that a lot of it we knew, but there's some of it you just take for granted or you don't put in your everyday life. And so it was really good to actually like see what he said versus what we thought. You think it was good?
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of the stuff, most of the stuff I agree with, if not all of it.
And it's everything that we would want to teach our son. It's everything that we would want him to know in life, actually, to go out into the world and be a functioning human being in this life, I guess. Yeah, well, thanks, guys. We are still headed on our road trip, but we just wanted to have that fun with y'all. You say bye?
Bye.
Bye, guys.